I know I'm late to the party, but I will be presenting my top 10 best anime of 2023. What? You're not invited. Get out of here. Didn't you hear me? I said top 10 best anime, not best in narration to explain whatever is happening in my damn convoluted anime. Now shoot. And now that that's out of the way, let's get back to Hi, and welcome to Anime Matrix. In this video, I will be sharing my top 10 best anime of 2023. So, you can expect this list to be full of rom-coms. What? It's not? Then I'm not doing this video. My only criteria for an anime to be included in this list is that the season or the core should have been released in 2023. So, for anything that was released in fall 2022 and continued on to winter 2023, they're not included. Apologies to My Hero Academia Season 6. And now, without further ado, let's dive into the Matrix. Number 10. The Dangers in My Heart. Okay, so I know I said something about filling this list with only rom-coms. So, there had to be one, right? And that is this anime, which is really good, and I believe that it's the best pure rom-com of 2023. I also love the way the main character Ichikawa thinks because it resonated with me. I feel like I was like that when I was younger, and probably until now. I used to overthink and analyze and even practice what I want to say before I say it. So the sincerity and the anxiety that this show presented really tugged my jaded heart. And so for having watching it, I'm really grateful. And have I mentioned that it will have a season 2 airing this season? Thank the heavens. For more on this season's anime, you can check my Winter 2024 preview video, which is also linked below. What? I had to plug it. Number 9. Tengoku Daimakyo. I didn't know what I was into when I first watched this one. When I saw the synopsis and the character design, I thought it would be a fun romp across a post-apocalyptic world. Boy, I was wrong. You see, it had the unique charm to lure you into thinking that it was a cute and fun anime and also a light-hearted one. But then it slaps you with its heavy and thought-provoking themes. This anime made me feel and think of what if scenarios. Like, what would I have done if I was in that situation? This anime is really so impactful to me that even until this day, I think about these things. But aside from that, the story intrigue was really top notch. The way it presented two separate or different timelines at the same time was really brilliant. You really don't know when these events happen and how they are connected with each other. So there is more to this story, and I'm really looking forward to watching some more of it. Number 8. Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead. In all zombie stories, whether movies, shows, or even in anime, the goal is always the same. And there's always this overlap in all of them, which is survival. Whether it be the survival of the characters or survival of the world. No matter how they craft that journey, that will always be the destination. Other times, zombie shows just want to show gratuitous gore. In Zone 100, it made me see zombie shows in a different light. Sure, there is still the dread that once you get bitten, it's the end of the line. But they still focused more on the positive side of things. And even if their world seems to be ending, and it's possible that it would, it also says that there is still time to do the things that you want to do. I believe that that message is actually applicable to our current lives. We don't have to wait for a zombie outbreak to take steps toward our own dreams or even do things that make us happy. But let's not kid ourselves. If I was the one traveling with those ladies, they'd be my number one in my to do list. Number 7. The Apothecary Diaries. Ah, I know an anime is good when my mother wants to watch it. Actually, I just rewatched it with her this past weekend. She was so disappointed that the second half isn't released yet. Aren't we all? I also shared my thoughts on this anime in my Winter 2024 preview video, which I think I mentioned earlier. If you're not picking it up yet, then yes, I'm asking, no, begging you to check that out. I'm only begging for views. What's wrong with that? What? You can beg for money too? Patreon. Huh. What makes this anime so endearing is the fact that it's a mix of a detective show with hints of romance set in ancient China and the Emperor's Palace. The show deals with the problems of people from a bygone era, but makes it relatable for us in the present time. There is also an underlying mystery that the characters will have to deal with later on in the story. I'm so invested with these characters because they're so fleshed out with real emotions. And it also helps that it's educational. Speaking of educational, number 6, Dr. Stone New World. Ah, the epitome of educational anime. It really made science, exciting, and really cool. And you know what Dr. Stone does so incredible? It really pays off big time with all the setup they do during the whole season. It's a battle manga that uses science as their weapons. I also love how they portrayed everyone's trust in Senku, that they didn't show any panic during their impending doom. They knew in their hearts that Senku would find a way with science. You know, if I was a science teacher, this is how I would conduct my class. First, we'll watch an episode of Dr. Stone, and then I'll give them homework regarding the science that was discussed in that episode. And then in my next class, we will conduct scientific experiments to help them broaden their understanding of the science that was in the anime. So, not only did I help spread anime to other people, I also made science fun. Two birds with one stone. One Dr. Stone. What? Fine. I'll see myself out. Number 5. Bleach. Thousand Year Blood War. The Separation. With my hot take that I saw a dumb moment in this season, I'm really surprised I put it in my top 10 list. And top 5, no less? But there is one simple reason for that. It's because I love this gritty, dreary, and much more serious version of Bleach. They really embraced the gore and brutality that some other shonen anime might shy away from or even totally avoid. To put it simply, this isn't your father's Bleach. The stakes were raised, so the funny moments were few and far between. And the action was so amazingly animated that I forgive them for splitting this up into 4 cores. Number 4. Oshinoko. Whenever the first episode is an hour long, I know that it will be good. But this one was an hour and a half long. That's movie length already. And so I was able to be invested with the characters instantly. It was a roller coaster of emotions. It was funny, it was dramatic, then there was serious scenes and tense scenes. But then there was a scene where you just had to cheer out loud. But in the end, it was bookended by tragedy. I honestly didn't know what to feel after watching that first episode. The good thing was that the rest of the show was able to expand on these emotions and they were able to let them breathe. And so it was more impactful that way. Also, it's one of those anime that I can't wait to watch the next episode because it was really good ending each episode with sort of a cliffhanger. And not many anime can do that. Lastly, one proof I look at to know whether an anime is great or not is when it becomes a choice of cosplayers in conventions. And to say that I saw a lot of Oshinoko cosplayers this year is an understatement. Number 3, Frieren Beyond Journey's End. This show was really a surprise to me. I made a review of the first few episodes back then when it released, so if you want to know my thoughts on that, please check my video. You better be used to it now that I'm plugging my old videos. As I also said in my Winter 2024 preview video, I feel like this anime is a breath of fresh air in terms of fantasy genre in a world where it's full of isekai crap. Well, not all of them are crap. I still watch some of them, but few have new original ideas. There is less creativity that separate it from each other. And that is why Frieren stands out to me so much right now. Because it's not set in a world where it's skill based or someone has this overwhelming, overpowered skill or they're reincarnated. The world of Frieren is gradually fleshed out with each episode. It takes the slow pace approach in developing the characters and their relationships with each other. And then you get to experience a sprinkle of epic feats from them, and it feels greater because you're not bombarded by it every other episode. You really feel like you're in a journey with them. Honestly, I just hope I get to see them achieve their goal at the end of this anime because if they end this in a cliffhanger, I will be pissed. Number 2, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Swordsmith Village Arc. This is another example of an anime which ends their season in epic fashion. The fight animation scenes are always so good. And when I watch Demon Slayer, that is what I automatically expect. And in this season, they were able to develop some of the characters, and you know that the main story will be moving forward from this point on. Although I had some gripes where they couldn't kill this certain enemy, but when it finally happened, I guess it was more satisfying that way. It's just that it made logical jumps to where just it extended the tension, and I felt like they could have presented it in a better way. This anime was also where I literally said, as I watched the last episode of that season, that if this certain female character dies, we will riot. Good thing the author knew better. The animation studio was spared from being razed to the ground, and now they'll be showing the next season. Number 1, Attack on Titan Final Season, the final chapters. What's more to say? It's the epic conclusion of a decade of storytelling. You know, as an anime fan, I really appreciate it when a story is adapted into anime until it's finished. Because unfortunately, that's not the norm. The action and animation were top notch. You could clearly see that the studio made sure that all the love and care were put into this to make sure that it could be the best that it could be. And so I know that some people have some gripes with the story and the ending, but as for me, it's the story that the author wanted to tell. But if you want a more in depth discussion of this ending of Attack on Titan, I made a review video that you can watch later after this because this is the end of the list anyway. Not a word. Zip it. That was my top 10 best anime of 2023. So, what did you think of my list? Was there something that you loved that wasn't included? Or was there something that you disagree with that shouldn't be included? Tell me in the comments below. I would also like to see your own top 10 lists. Please like and subscribe for more discussions about anime and more lists. See you next time.